Hey guys, it's Christy Shell with Zeal Coaching. Today we are talking about being open to receiving feedback. Now, this is a tricky one for most of us because we are, because generally we want to believe that we're good people and we want people to like us. So when people give us feedback, we get a little offset because we have an image in our mind or we think we're doing well. And someone outside of us may say, oh, I need to give you some feedback, or could you do more, improve in some way, or whatever. And this is, it's hard to get that little sting because there's a surprise. We want to make it mean that there's something wrong with us or something broken. But here's how I want to challenge you. If you are going to be a person of growth and trying to evolve and grow yourself and be more secure actually with yourself and keep evolving and getting better and better at whatever, at life and managing people or being in business or whatever, managing your family, this is what we need to do, okay? We need to be open to receiving feedback. Now, how do we do that? Here's what's interesting. So first of all, deciding that you're going to be a growth, I think is really a super first step, right? So you may ask for feedback. You may ask for feedback of people that you trust and they know that they care about you and they're going to be honest, okay? So that, like, being really proactive to receiving feedback. But when it comes, you're still going to have a little bit of sting. You're going to still have to think about and move yourself through kind of the sting, the hurt feelings, the shifting your mindset of what you think or your image is of yourself, okay? And starting to expand that image and start to maybe try some different behaviors. But let's just talk about when the feedback comes, okay? So when the feedback comes from anyone, now it matters if it comes from someone you care about. If you're in a relationship with them, it is going to have more of an emotional tinge. Sometimes it's from people that we don't like very well, or we feel like are somewhat, a different personality and we don't see eye to eye, and we get that feedback. Now let's talk about both. When you get feedback from someone who cares about you, they're literally giving you a gift on purpose, okay? They are taking a moment and taking a risk to give you feedback. And so we want to embrace the fact that they're going into risk and fear in order to, and ready for the reaction that you may have. So now they're giving you feedback. Even bosses or supervisors, when they have to give feedback, basically like in performance reviews, but even in a very informal way, it is really hard because they know that they're stepping into a risk situation and they don't want to lose and alter their relationship with you. So to really think about a little bit about the empathy about where that person's coming from. Okay, so that's one thing. The person that you don't like, right, to think about them, and the person who is maybe more blunt or more honest or maybe has a different perspective of the world than you, is really, so they also may be giving you a gift, but more from their perspective. So in both situations, you have to think about, first of all, okay, I'm going to feel a little surprised and I'm going to feel hurt and I might be in a little bit of denial and I might be a little bit angry actually, okay? Because all of that is like happens when we get a quick change in perspective from somebody else, okay? They hurt your feelings or whatever, right? So this is a real thing, but it's just a natural reaction to that. So once you kind of go through that, the next question though is to really ask yourself, does this help me? Does this fit me? Is this something that I need to think about? Okay, now you have to have enough wherewithal to say, it doesn't mean I'm broken. It doesn't mean I'm a horrible person. It doesn't mean that, the world thinks, my life just crashed down or whatever, right? It just means someone else outside of me has a different perspective than I did. And they feel like they're giving me a gift or they're trying to be honest with me, or sometimes they're trying to be mean to me. If a person is trying to be mean to you, notice all the feelings and then to say, is that something that I really need to put on? Like, I'm going to try it on. Is that fit me? Is that real? And if that's real for you, great. Take the lesson, watch yourself in the next situation, go into investigation mode, go into maybe a behavior change mode, that type of thing. But when you put that on and you're like, that's not true. Maybe they don't know you. Maybe they don't know your reasons why. Maybe they don't all those things. So you can also take that information and be like, thank you very much, and then move on, right? And you don't have to absorb it into yourself, okay? You don't have to make it mean, first of all, that you're broken or that there's something wrong with you. But you don't have to make it mean either that you have to do something different that they're asking you, okay? You don't have to take their advice. You don't have to take it. And so it's important, though, to be more rational, and once you get that first sting, to be like, is this useful to me? And I know that sounds really crazy, but when people will hide their opinions or their feedback from you because they do not feel like you are safe to share it with, that your reaction is not worth the risk. And then we don't get the opportunity to grow, okay? So it's really important that you keep yourself, or you work to keep yourself even, or you work to understand, it's not comfortable to hear that kind of information, but I'm going to think about it, and I'm going to absorb it, and I'm going to see where it might be useful in my life, okay? That is kind of the attitude, and that people feel that from you so that they do offer you that feedback so you can grow and evolve and get better at whatever you want to get better at. So it is really interesting. Now, here's the thing. You can also say to people, thank you, but no thank you, right? Thank you for offering, but I can't take your feedback right now, or I'm not interested. You can say that too. You can definitely say that too. In a work situation, you could take it, like, you're probably going to let them give it to you, but you want to step back and be like, okay, I'm just going to filter it. Because sometimes emotionally we can't take it, okay? So sometimes emotionally we're not in a good place, or sometimes we're already triggered about something else, or we are just naturally in a place where we're feeling down right now. And so it is really important to think about, are you prepared to take it? And are you going to be receptive or open to it, okay? And if you're not there, and if you can't do that right now, stop them. Like, I'm sorry, I just really can't take this in right now. I care about what you think, but I can't really take it in right now. I'm just not at a place to do that. And I know that maybe if you're in a bad place, you don't have the ability to say that. But I think sometimes it's like, thank you, and then just walk away or whatever. But it's okay to insulate yourself from taking all the emotions in, or all this, feedback from people. So here's an important thing, though. If you want to evolve and grow, we all have the things we know about each other, we all have the things we know about ourselves. We all have the things that we know that people know about us. And then there are people who see things about us that we don't see about ourselves, okay? So sometimes it's a compliment. Sometimes it's, a little correction. Sometimes it's advice. It comes in all different forms. And to decide to take in both advice and compliments, because when you take in a compliment, you want to do more of that. You want to grow and continue to develop that skill or that attribute people see in you. So to really think about that. Here's the other side. When you're giving or want to give advice, please make sure that you ask for permission. Can I give you some advice? Or I had a thought I just wanted to share with you about something that happened yesterday. But if you ask permission, then people have the opportunity to say, yeah, I really can't hear that right now. Or they kind of can brace themselves, or they can open themselves up, okay? But if you don't ask and you just offer, then people are, you're stepping into their safe zone, okay? And so their ability to really receive they're not prepared to receive is really the best thing. So if you're going to offer something really useful and you really want people to hear you, to ask them if they would listen, okay? Ask them if they're ready to listen to you. So this is Christy Shell with Zeal Coaching. I'm super happy to see you. Hi, Miss Lisa. I miss you terribly. When you move forward and you embrace this idea of being open to receiving and giving people opportunity to give you feedback, you can really grow. But it definitely is a process that we have to learn to work ourselves through. Okay? So, Christy Shell with Zeal Coaching. Again, keep sending us students. And we are committing to starting Coffee with Christy for our fall hours at 7:30 next Friday, 7:30 a.m. So bring your coffee, put on your makeup while you're listening to us or whatever you're doing, or drive to work and listen to us. And we will see you next week on Friday at 7:30. Have a great day.